Welcome to Fuck Hip Hop episode 4. Don't conform. Peace, what's going on? Man, listen. Money over integrity. Where do I begin? Alright. Okay, so let's start with the message of hip hop first. At one point in time, hip hop had many different levels, right? Nobody really did the same thing. But there was one common cause, and that was peace. Prosperity, basically, you know what I mean? Righteousness. Hence, you had like the pro-black movement real strong in hip hop. Hip hop was educating people. And then the term edutainment was put into the game. That was created by KRS-One. Now, Public Enemy, they taught Poor Righteous Teachers. Of course, they taught X-Clan. They taught Brand Nubians, etc. Right? Nas. You know, anybody from the nation of Gods and Earth that got a record deal. Basically, at one time, I'm gonna have to say, this is my opinion, but probably 80% of hip hop at one time was Islamic or pro-black. It wasn't until, like, let's just say, creeping into the 2000s, really, where things were changing. 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, and here we are. But, I mean, why such a dramatic change? Right? Like, what brought on a change? How did hip hop change its message like so dramatically? I mean, it took a little time, but just to show you how marketing works and subliminal imaging and subliminal messaging works, this was a plan. It was planned out. The industry changed its format. It was, I don't want to hear that righteous shit, nigga. You trying to kick knowledge, nigga? Like, that just wasn't the thing. I mean, you still had it. It was left up to those who really, specialized in that field. But ultimately, predominantly, it all, just went total left. There was a balance at one time. You still had fucked up elements, and I don't even really call them fucked up elements then. You know what I mean? I didn't call it that then, but now I call it a fucked up element because it's what's dominant and there's no balance. Like, if you take a circle and you split it down the middle, that's 180 and 180. That's negative and that's positive, so that's a balance. But if that whole circle is just filled with negative energy, it's going to explode eventually. So back then, and I hate to use that term back then, but let's just say in this golden era, it knew it had to be diverse. So there were many different formats. If you wanted to, like I said, listen to something that was on a lyrical side, you had an artist for that. If you wanted to hear something on a gangster side, then you had an artist for that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had a different world, and nobody was trying to really be in somebody else's world. And that's what made you stand out. Now, unfortunately, imagination has been, erased, and there's microwave music being produced, microwave imaging being produced, integrity at a low, you know, um, the standard is just not a positive standard. Like, there's really nothing to measure up to other than social media presence, really, and shock value. Which hip hop, it was special in itself for that, because when you heard certain music from certain artists, they could say certain things and you'd be like, oh shit. Like, but only that artist could do that per se. Now, the world has been shocked so much by bullshit that it's used to it. It's like what would be normal is abnormal, so the abnormal is considered normal, if you understand what I'm saying. So if you're not wearing dresses, now you're wearing dresses. Just that simple. If you were on some consciousness at one point, if you want success today, you have to dumb yourself down. Listen to that word, dumb yourself down. See, so in one point of hip hop, the state of hip hop was edutainment. It still had a grimy side, but only certain artists were accepted to do that side. Whether it was, like I said, lyrical, whether it was pro-black, whether it was gangster, etc. So now, everybody gangster. I'm not knocking people doing what they doing, so don't take this in the wrong way. What I'm saying is, being in the hood, right? Growing up in the hood, right? I've seen bad shit and I've seen good shit. We all know what exists. Only thing I'm saying is, there's a whole lot of other shit to write about other than what's being spoken about today. I'm not saying you can't speak on that shit. I'm just saying that shouldn't be the only focus, especially when you have the youngsters listening to this music, which they dumbed it down and aimed it at them. They know how music affects people. It's different than movies. It's more powerful than movies, even though there's imagery, right? But we have music that comes with videos. See what I'm saying? Now, you don't watch a movie every day, all day. You can't watch the movie in your car. I mean, you can do these things, but you understand what I'm saying. If you have a song that you really fuck with like that, you're gonna watch the video and everything else that person has put out. You're gonna stream the shit, you know what I'm saying? So it becomes a part of your life, so to speak. So in essence, music moves or changes the tone of society. If you control media, you control people. It's just that simple. A lot of people get programmed. Television, telling lies to your vision. I'm just saying, these things, they dictate. The television dictates what's trending. The computer does it. The internet, social media, your phone, everything. All this shit tells you what to wear, what not to wear, how to wear it, what to eat, what not to eat, how to eat it, how to cook it. You know what I mean? So basically, if you're not self-involved, if you don't have knowledge yourself, you don't really dig into like books, and you're not on a quest for something higher than this material world, then 9 times out of 10, you're being programmed. I'm just saying. Look at the images. I mean, I'm just saying, why would you need a soft tone message in hip hop? Why do you have to have black hip hop artists, especially, right, show femininity, or be feminine? Yeah, I can't even say that shit correctly. Be feminine. Why would you, push them to be feminine and do homosexual things or homoerotic things? Like, why? Why aim this at hip hop, especially when you know how influential hip hop is globally? Yeah, globally influential. And also aimed at children. Why do you have artists wearing dresses? Even entertainers and athletes are doing that shit. In the movies and on sitcoms, they've been doing that shit, but a lot of people, they aspire to be actors, but rarely it's easier to just get a program, a microphone, some headphones, or what the fuck ever, and a program, like I said, and put your music out on some type of platform. and hopefully, you'll master that craft or your craft or whatever the fuck. But nonetheless, I'm just saying, yeah, when you conform to these things, these standards, you're being controlled. Now, I was taught hip hop represents freedom, so I'm not going to put myself in a position to break the integrity of my manhood. Plus, I'm God, so I'm not going to do certain things for money. Money is a tool. Like, when you start studying it and you understand the system of capitalism and how the shit really works, right? I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, even though most people need to look up the definition of conspiracy. But I digress from that point. But I'm just saying, in point of fact, though, capitalism, materialism, these isms, right? There is a war inside of hip hop because hip hop had a message. Hip hop is strong. Hip hop is revolutionary. It builds revolutionaries. Hip hop is a revolution. Hip hop is about change, right? So for people that don't want change, they fight against change, right? Yeah, people that fight against technology. Fuck that phone. I'm gonna have this flip phone. All I need to do is make phone calls. I don't need all that other shit, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, the year after that, motherfucker got the touchscreen. Because it's geared to make you do what everybody else is doing if you don't have a certain type of integrity, right? Sometimes you do have to adapt, but there's positive things that you can adapt to, and you can transform things to use it in a more productive and positive manner that suits you and your peoples, you feel me? So I'm just saying, as an overall, these guys, women too though, like this sexual shit in hip hop is very Masonic. Yeah, I'ma say that. Now, for all those cats that claim they wise, why I say that? Leave a comment at the bottom if you know. I want to see, like, what you know. Because if you know something, even to add on to this for episode 5, I can throw that jewel in there. Because like I said, I don't know everything, but I'm just saying, it is Masonic. So, when you have something that thinks on that level of science and psychology, right? They see things different than what the average person sees, right? So a lot of people need to read the 48 Laws of Power. That's a good read. But I'm just saying, there is a way of making you it's like there's a way of making you accept what the fuck is going on, even though you're not with it. Like the example with the cell phone. Nah, I just need a flip. A year later, you touch screen, right? It's the same thing with clothes. You know what I mean? Like a certain type of gene is now developed. You're not really going to find a baggy anything per se. It's designed in a slim fit or slim cut. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying you can't find anything different. What I'm saying is predominantly right now, what you see on TV is the standard. What you see on YouTube is the standard in fashion. Because social media this, you know what I'm saying, social media that. And people will put things on that will draw attention in hopes of generating numbers to stream, to monetize, or whatever, right? So you have people saying, fuck it, I ain't gay, but I'll do that for that amount of money. Hey, I ain't knocking you. You do what you do. You gotta eat, you know what I'm saying? Me, on the other hand, I just see things a lot fucking different. So, look at the images. I can't be a part of that. I'm sorry. That's not hip-hop. It's not. We already, you know what I'm saying, established with episode 1 what hip-hop is. So, that shit don't fit. See how different things look now versus 1, 2, and 3 episodes. This 4th one, this culture is trying to be the dominant culture of hip-hop. So I'm just saying, why are you trying to soften up the black man in hip-hop? Because they do not stand for any bullshit. Bottom line, soldiers are in hip-hop, but they had to contaminate it, and they created a system that, you know, says, well, look, man, we can't judge, we can't do XYZ. Hey, for that amount of money, you know, it's always about the money. That's what people put first. If you notice that, people just be like, I gotta get this money. It's about the money. No, I need the money. Oh, I do that for that amount. Oh shit, that amount right there, that's a good amount. Really, like, this is the way of the people. The majority, not all, because I don't have that mentality. So I'm just saying, like, you gonna do certain things for the money, and then men, you know what I'm saying, on their level as far as for like money equal bitches. So I mean, look at young Jock wearing a fucking dress, man. I mean, come on, yo, perming your hair shit be like, really? You know what I mean? That shit's recent. So I'm just saying, like, come on, man, really? You telling the young boys out here it's cool to do what you just did? Really? Love and hip hop, monetization, views, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It draws attention, ratings equals money. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's disturbing to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have soldiers in hip hop that are reporting what's going on inside of the industry. I'm just saying, at this point, I don't even see why motherfuckers is rushing towards the industry when you can be your own industry anyway. I mean, truth be told, but if it's something out there that you want, I mean, do what you want to do, but all that fame and stardom shit don't equal money after you are, you know, drained of your talent, if any. I mean, the whole thing is the music business is into exploitation, not really talent per se. So if this person draws enough or attention to him or herself, they have high numbers on their social media, whether it be YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, right, Twitter. That's who these labels want. And then you have guys that's already on the labels seeing the change inside of the industry. So then they know, well, if I don't conform, I don't receive this person is going to have that, I'm going to look outdated. Next thing you know, nigga got dressing or talking some little subliminal homosexual talk, you know what I mean, in your songs or whatever. Like, where did this shit come from? Like, it just came left, like, wow, like out the blue. Like, nah, that ain't hip hop, B. We don't fuck with that. Like, that's not what this is for, man. Come on, yo, we alpha males in hip hop, man. Really. Like, niggas should be a fucking ashamed of that self. I mean, like, really? And then, you know, I'm not a male chauvinist. I'm for the queens. But you got these dudes, you know what I'm saying, like promoting a lot of bullshit, you know what I mean? So these females, man, they basically dictating to dudes. I'm just saying, I didn't make the chain of command. The universe did. So take it up with the universe. Man, woman, child. Man is the head. The woman is the second head. And then the child is learning from both heads, both foundations, right? Getting his or herself right. Supposedly. That's how it's supposed to work. So out of respect for the universe as a man, and since I'm really talking about black men as a god, even, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't do the shit that you're doing. Like, look at this shit, man. And then the music, they talking about the kids are out of control and they shooting up shit, this, that, and the third, but you putting the music out that helps inspire these kids to do that. They feel like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta do to get on. We already wildin' anyway. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, how do you go on TV and then have like a, you know, a talk, an interview or something, just be like, yeah, you know, we for the children, we for this, we for that, and, you know, but at the same time, you bringing entertainment that's unhealthy. Literally. There's no consciousness in materialism. Materialism is unconscious. Because matter doesn't think. So it doesn't matter. So like I said, when you're dealing with duality, there should be a balance. But when there is just materialism, it will cancel itself out. It can't further itself. So, you know, you want to concentrate on what's, you know, long term, really. And normally healthy things are long term. You know, healthy things, healthy eating, healthy drinking, healthy living, healthy thinking, you know. But when you are in a capitalistic society that thrives off of the four devils, lust, jealousy, hate, envy, right? It's it's like I said, the abnormal becomes normal. So doing fuckery is normal. Like even with the churches, like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to stuff the point because I'm still on point. And the point that I'm trying to make right now is even in the churches, I'm saying spirituality wise, women are running the churches. That's who the head of the church is. Think about it. That's why their message is more aimed and geared towards women. Think about how many ministers and pastors are really like sleeping with the inside of their congregation, right? The members, right? Think about how much money they give these individuals, right? They stay sharp, they clean, right? Now, I'm just saying, don't you have to please the people or the persons that pay you? I mean, doesn't that make sense? Because I'm sure there's not too many men. I mean, this is just from my experiences and my travels. I have not heard too many men really, you know what I mean, give money to the church. And then a lot of them fall out of it. So you predominantly see women in those churches. Predominantly, right? And they're the dominant force. They pay their tithes, all that. Then they have movies that help support that system. Y'all see what I'm saying now? How one thing begets another. So this entertainment business, even it has its hold in spirituality, because spirituality produces entertainment, supposedly clean and healthy. But when they say claim this in the name of Jesus, and it's about a car or a house, right? Jesus didn't deal with materialism. He said it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. Right? So I'm gonna close it on that note. Yeah. I'm gonna close it on that note for real. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get inside or into heaven. Don't conform, people. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is thinking with their lower self. The great majority are thinking with their lower self. Just look at these images. I mean, yeah, don't conform, man. Fuck hip hop episode 4. Oof. Yeah. Look at the transformation, man. The promotion of feminine shit on alpha males. This is bullshit. You say that you this, that, and the third, strong black men or survival, you know what I mean, whatever the fuck, right? And then you do this. You feel me? Y'all do this. So, like I said, I'm signing off, man. Leave a comment at the bottom, share, like, and subscribe to BAGLIFE Media. And thank you for your time. Peace.